Hello and welcome to maths class. In our previous class, we discussed the whole numbers and the properties of whole numbers for addition. Today, our topic is properties of subtraction. So, let's start. The first property of subtraction is closure property. It says if a and b are whole numbers, then a minus b is a whole number if a greater than b or a equal b. But if a less than b, then a minus b is not a whole number. Let us take some examples. So, for the first case, a greater than b, here we considered a equal 15 and b equal 8. You can see here a is greater than b and a minus b, that means 15 minus 8 equals 7. 7 is a whole number. That means if a greater than b, the resulting number a minus b is a whole number. Coming to the second case, it says if a equal b, then the answer will be a whole number. Let's see. Here we considered a as 17 and a is equal to b, that means b is also 17. So, a minus b, that means 17 minus 17 is equal 0. We all know 0 is a whole number. So, the closure property here holds. But what will happen if a is less than b? Let's see. Here in this example you can see a equal 8 and b equal 15. Here a is less than b. So, a minus b, that means a is 8 minus 15. If we subtract 15 from 8, we shall get a negative number minus 7. 8 minus 15 equal minus 7. But you all know minus 7 is not a whole number. Whole number starts from 0 and then 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. That means minus 7 is not a whole number. So, when a less than b, a minus b is not a whole number. So, observing all the cases, we can say if x and y are two whole numbers, then x minus y is not necessarily a whole number. So, this was the closure property. Next, coming to the commutative property. It says if a and b are two whole numbers, then a minus b is not equal to b minus a. Let us take examples. Here we considered a equal 4 and b equal 3. Next, we shall find a minus b. A minus b means here 4 minus 3. You all know 4 minus 3 equal 1. But what will happen if we solve b minus a? So, here b minus a equals 3 minus 4. You all know 3 minus 4 equal minus 1, but minus 1 is not a whole number and it is not equal to 1. So, from this we can say a minus b is not equal to b minus a. That means the subtraction of two whole numbers is not commutative. Next, the associative property. So, the associative property says if a, b, c are whole numbers and c not equals 0, remember c not equals 0, then a minus b minus c not equal to a minus b minus c. Let us take example. Here we have considered a equal 8, b equal 3 and c equal 2 plus 2. Now we shall solve a minus b minus c and a minus b minus c. So, for the first case, a minus b means 8 minus 3 and then minus 2. So, we shall first solve 8 minus 3, that is equals to 5 and then minus 2 as usual, and the answer is 3. Coming to the second case, a minus b minus c. So here we shall write 8 minus within bracket 3 minus 2. At first we shall solve 3 minus 2 and get 1, that means 8 minus 1, that means equals 7. So we can easily say a minus b minus c not equal to a minus b minus c. Here c is not equals 0, that's why we can say that. But if c is 0, what will happen? Let's see. Here we considered a as 8, b equals 3 and c equals 0. And you can see the solution. 8 minus 3 minus 0 is equal 5 minus 0, that's equal 5, and 8 minus 3 minus 0 is equals 8 minus 3, and this is equal to 5. So here in this case a minus b minus c is equal to a minus b minus c. So if c not equals 0, then only we can say a minus b minus c not equal to a minus b minus c. This was associative property. Next, coming to the fourth property, distributive property. It says for any three whole numbers x, y and z, x into y minus z is equal x into y minus x into z, and y minus z into x equal x into y minus z into x. That means we shall distribute the functions which are in bracket and multiply one by one with x. For example, 5 into 3 minus 2 is equals 5 into 3 minus 5 into 2. This is equals to 15 minus 10, and the answer is 5. Again, 4 minus 2 into 6 is equals to 4 into 6 minus 2 into 6. That means 24 minus 12, and this is equals to 12. This property is called distributive property. Next, coming to the existence of identity. For any whole number x, x minus 0 is equals x, we all know, but 0 minus x is not equals to x. For example, if we take any number 4, so 4 minus 0 is equals 4, which is a whole number, but 0 minus 4 equals minus 4. Minus 4 is not a whole number and it is not equal to 4. So for subtraction no identity number exists. When 0 is subtracted from itself, we get 0 minus 0 equals 0. So 0 is its own identity for subtraction. Next, coming to the existence of inverse. Since subtraction for every non-zero whole number does not have identity number, its inverse does not exist. So students, what we have learned today? First, closure property. It not holds for every whole number. Next, the commutative property. In subtraction, two whole numbers is not necessarily commutative. Next, the associative property. So, subtraction of whole number does not satisfy associative property if z not equals to 0. Now the distributive property. Distributive property holds. Next, identity. For subtraction, no identity number exists, and as identity not exist, inverse also does not exist. So that's all today. In our next class, we shall discuss the property for multiplication. Thank you.